My name is Dorothy and I am 83 years old. I have never done anything scandalous in my life. Until last spring, when I faked my own death and watched my children fight over my furniture in real time. It started on a Tuesday evening in March. I had fallen asleep in my chair by the window, the way I often do after dinner. My son Richard and his wife Pamela were in the kitchen. They did not know I was awake. They did not bother to check. I heard Pamela say it first. She said, "How much longer do you think we are waiting?" Richard said, "She is 83, Pamela. It cannot be much longer." Pamela said, "I just want to know what we are actually getting." Richard said, "The house alone is worth enough." Pamela said, "What about your sisters?" Richard said, "We get here first. We get the most." I sat in that chair for a very long time after they went to bed, not upset, thinking. Because on karma's list, the ones who sit quietly in the dark are usually the most dangerous ones in the room. I called my doctor the next morning, an old friend named Gerald, who had known me since I was 47. I told him what I had heard. I told him what I wanted to do. He was quiet for a moment, then he laughed for about 45 seconds straight. Then he said, "Dorothy, I am absolutely in." The death certificate was not real, but the phone call was convincing enough. Gerald called Richard on a Thursday morning with the appropriate gravity in his voice, said I had passed peacefully in my sleep, said arrangements would need to be made, said he was sorry for their loss. Richard called his sisters within the hour. I know because my neighbor Gloria was parked outside with binoculars and a thermos of coffee. She had volunteered for this role with genuine enthusiasm. If you have ever watched someone underestimate the wrong person, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because this story is about to get so much better. Gloria sent me updates by text every 20 minutes. First text said Richard arrived looking serious. Second text said Patricia arrived looking concerned. Third text said Linda arrived looking like she had already measured the living room. By the afternoon, all three of my children and their spouses were inside my house, going through my things, while I sat in Gloria's spare bedroom eating biscuits and watching updates come through on my phone. Gloria reported that Richard had claimed the car before anyone discussed the will, that Patricia had wrapped my good china in newspaper and placed it by the door, that Linda had found the loose floorboard in the study where she believed I kept cash. She found $14 and a photograph of my late husband. She put the $14 in her pocket. This is karma's list, and Dorothy was not finished. The will reading was scheduled for the following Monday, with a lawyer named Bernard, who was also in on it, and who had also laughed for an extended period when I called him. Bernard gathered all three of my children and their spouses in his office, read the opening of the will in his most serious voice, and then paused, and said there is an addendum. He turned his laptop around and played a video of me, sitting in Gloria's spare bedroom, waving. The room went completely silent for about 6 seconds. Then Pamela made a sound that Gloria later described as a seal being surprised. I walked in through Bernard's office door 30 seconds later. Nobody spoke for a very long time. Richard said, "Mom?" I said, "Hello, Richard." I sat down in the empty chair at the head of the table, and I slid 3 envelopes across the desk, one to each of my children. Inside each envelope was a single page. It said, "I heard everything you said. I saw everything you did. The house, the car, the china and everything inside them now belong to a trust managed by Gloria and Bernard. You are each welcome to visit me on the first Sunday of every month between 2 and 4 in the afternoon. Refreshments will not be provided. Linda still has not returned the $14. I have not asked for it back. Some things are not worth the conversation. But I did change the locks. And I did get a very good alarm system. And Gloria comes for dinner every Thursday. Now, she brings the biscuits. I make the tea. And we laugh about the look on Pamela's face every single time. Because on karma's list, the tables do not just turn, they turn completely. And the people sitting at the head of them change forever. Subscribe for weekly karma. Comment Dorothy if she is your new favorite person.